Look at the AL East. Orioles, extremely disappointing. Now, I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I figured they were going to have a pitching staff issue, and voila, their pitching staff is terrible. Charlie Morton's pitching well lately, but they still have serious rotation issues. Corbin Burns not signing him long term was a major problem. Obviously, he got hurt. You can't predict that, but him not being there is the ace on the front, the top. Other young guys they drafted and being supposed to be called up like Rodriguez, they're not pitching the way they should be. They're not getting that from the bullpen. They're not getting it in the starting rotation. And the offense that's still young is still trying to get their groove and start to hit and try. They can't just match themselves to victories consistently. Jackson Holliday's playing better, but Adley Rutschman's not hitting like he should be. Henderson's not raking like he should or expected to be. Luke Hauser for a little bit being hurt. Ryan O'Hearn not hitting like he's hitting, but Ryan O'Hearn should not be your number one guy in the line for reviving around. So the Orioles are a problem right now. But looking at the rest of it, the Blue Jays are surging right now. Their offense is delivering. And you talk about guys who in the lineup who are contributing. Vlad Guerrero's not hitting 40, 50 bombs right now. Bo Bichette's not crushing 30, 40 home runs right now. But the entire lineup are hitting and producing. George Springer's having a revival. They're getting contributions from a bunch of young guys they've developed and getting up in there, especially like a name that pops to my mind right off the bat, Ernie Clement. These guys, they weren't names that were going to come into fantasy baseball drafting at the very beginning. Like, oh, that's a lock, that's a lock. That guy's going to hit 280 and drive in 75. No, they're guys in the organization. They grew them up, they developed them, and they're hitting and scoring runs. They're not always relying on the home run ball, which also is very sustainable for an offense. If you're relying on the home run, you're probably going to be in trouble. You need to be able to find a way to manufacture runs. And the Blue Jays right now, their offense especially is doing that. In the pitching rotation, Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett, Jose Barrios, the three of them right at the top. 2 years ago, I think the Blue Jays expected these guys to really be three staff aces, dominant, all have ERAs under 3, and just carry the Blue Jays through. They didn't live up to expectations the past couple of years, but right now they're quietly, there's not much pressure going into the season, but quietly, the three of them are pitching well. The bullpen's pitching better. Hoffman at the back end has been solid. They're getting contributions and they're getting quality out makers. They're getting quality hits when they need them offensively, and the Blue Jays are playing really well. Can they sustain this to the playoffs? That's the biggest question because it still is middle of June. They have to keep carrying this through, but they are playing much better. The Rays, I expected them to have a terrible season. I expected them where was the team going to get offense from? Where is the pitching staff going to come from? Lo and behold, they continue just prove us all wrong. Quietly contending. They have been trouble for people. They get timely hits. Their pitching staff has been lights out when they need it to be. A bunch of overachievers who play like major leaguers every single night. They are not a walkover. You have to take them seriously. This team could just boom before you know it, they're in the playoffs and they're causing people and they're like, who are the Rays? Do they have anybody on the team, that shines? That's a national, name. Obviously, McClanahan injured, not on the active roster. Rosarena has been gone for a year and a half now. You don't have that name that's going to pop. So that's the guy. It's the guys who are just playing well together. They have a culture there in Tampa, and the Rays are just going to be in contention. They're going to be pesky all year, and they're going to fight. Look at the Red Sox. They've had a lot of issues. They've had some pitching issues outside of Garrett Crochet. Their offense has been inconsistent, which has led to Roman Ansett getting called up, Marcel Meyer getting called up. Kristen Campbell obviously started the season on the Major League squad. The three young guys are up there playing with Trevor Story, Devers, Duran's playing well. They have all the core of their development players from that perspective. Now it's time for them to mature together, keep playing the rest of the season. It's a long year, but can those young players energize the current guys that are on that squad, all play to a high level and get them back into playoff contention? Because right now they're in fourth place in the AL East. If they all can grow up quicker, either this year is a way to get that all out of the way and they can mature, and then next year they take the next step, or as the year goes on, they start building confidence and then make a late rush into September. And hey, before you know it, they're in the playoff hunt and they're in the playoffs. So the Red Sox are going to be in the conversation, but can the young guys play at a high level? It's going to be interesting to see getting them all together at some point, how that culture blends there in Boston, because expectations, it's not like in Tampa or Milwaukee or Kansas City where you have a bunch of young core players all developing at one time and they kindly just get themselves set. It's Boston. There is Yankees, Red Sox. It's Red Sox. It's Fenway. Like the pressure is there for these young guys to perform at a high level immediately and not ease themselves in. So wonder how they're going to relate to that and move forward.